Peyton. Nice to see you again on this beautiful day. And this time with a quote by Charlotte Joko Beck, where she writes, "Joy is exactly what's happening, minus our opinion of it." That's a thought starter. What do you think about it?
Good to be back with you, my friend. This is a remarkably simple pointer at the nature of our relationship with the phenomena that arise in our life, and especially this ever-present conditioned habit that we have to look at things, to label them, to talk about them, to want this, to not want this, and to superimpose our judgments between ourselves and whatever arises in our field of awareness. And this habit of judgment causes a separation. And what she's pointing to that I think is oftentimes lost in us, in our culture, in our conditioning, or whatever, is that when we look around at what's going on and we are experiencing a lack of joy and we want to experience joy, the common conception of the situation is that therefore I must go change something about this situation in order to experience joy. Therefore, I must fix something that needs to be fixed. I must add something that needs to be added. I must subtract something that needs to be subtracted. And it puts us on a perpetual quest to garden the reality around us, to prune it, to adjust it, to filter it, to push something away, to pull something in order that in some imaginary future, we can experience joy, we can experience happiness, we can experience contentment. And the different point of view that she's introducing that is true when we actually put it to the test and we run an experiment in our life is that actually there doesn't need to be something that has changed about this moment right now. It is our relationship with the reality that is already fully here that needs to change, and not even necessarily through an addition from our side, through a changing ourselves, through a changing or pushing or pulling of what's going on even here, except that we just need to give ourselves to this moment. We just need to accept this moment. We just need to fully meet surrender to reality on reality's terms. And just that, not an adding of something, but actually just a letting go of our typical habit to judge and to label and to be eternally discontented with the reality that is here now. If we let go of that, if we allow it to drop, then we can realize that nothing is lacking. This moment is complete as it is. There's nothing that needs to be changed in this moment. And even if there's an aesthetic, even if we're walking down a sidewalk that kind of smells like urine and we see litter on the street and it's a gray day and we just hurt our knee last week and so it's kind of uncomfortable to walk, even in a moment that most of us wouldn't find immediately appealing, if we can allow our relationship with it to change and totally let go of our story about it, totally let go of our judgments about this moment, we can instantly shift into a different relationship with reality that can allow us to tap into joy and to tap into awe and to tap into beauty and appreciation and gratitude, even for the most mundane or gray circumstances that are right before us in our lives. How do you think about this letting go minus our opinion of it?
Mm. Yeah, you pointed towards that it's about the relationship of ourselves we have towards reality, towards our surrounding. It's about the inner experience before it's about the outer experience. Like, it's not about the environment, but it's about how we perceive the environment and then how we react to the environment. And the part where she says it's minus our opinion of it is also a beautiful pointer towards the via negativa again. Just take away the thing that matters, that is bugging you, maybe. Just take away your narrative of it, and then just experience whatever there is. Maybe there's joy in experiencing. Maybe there's joy in this playful curiosity we can play with when we accept whatever happens. And first, it's an inner game, and we see our perception is very much shaped by what we believe about the things that happen. The belief system is like this big structure underlying our perception where we filter everything through. And there's also narratives springing out of this belief system, which color whatever we experience. And if we add to these narratives a judgment from our side and say, this is bad now that I hurt my foot while walking up this beautiful mountain, and it takes away the potential beauty we could experience with just accepting that it now happened. Oh, I hurt my foot now. Okay, and now I go step by step and I just try to play with the feelings and see maybe it changes. Maybe I just focus on the beauty surrounding me. And then if we subtract this judgment, then our potential to experience beauty is enhanced. This leads to joy and this leads to a more peaceful existence. How do you think about the inner game as it relates to peaceful experiences we can generate ourselves when we subtract our judgment?
This generation is interesting too, because when we experience this contentment, this letting go, this stillness, this peace within that is available before we do something actively, it can really heal and restore us even in the difficult moments that follow. And it's true that opinions will come and go. This is not a call to eradicate ever having an opinion again. At least that's not how I read it. It doesn't seem like it's on the table for me, for example, to just not have any opinions today, to see everything and be completely neutral in terms of what happens. But this does point us to an ability. This points us to an option, an optionality to when we notice that we are just totally in this storm of resistance within our own mind and we're really not having a good time. And it feels like it's this thing that's out in the world's fault that is why I'm not having a good time right now. This points us to power that we have, a capacity to drop it, to let it go, and to realize that before we change something out there, before we add something to the situation, by subtracting rather than addition, we can experience this contentment, this freedom, this peace. And I think too that almost everybody has had some experiences of not having opinions, of existence free of thought. But a lot of times, the thing that makes it so beautiful is not immediately obvious as we experience them. And what I'm referring to is flow states. So most of us, when we're asked, what makes you really happy? What was a situation that made you really happy? What will be a circumstance in which you will experience joy? Most of the times, people will think of things that are, it was when I was hiking on this beautiful mountain and I experienced this great beauty coming in, or it's when I'm riding my motorcycle down a curvy road and I experience this great feeling of peace, or it's when I'm playing music and I'm really getting into the groove and this is an amazing feeling, or it's during sex when I totally am not thinking about anything, I'm completely consumed by the moment, or it's this sport that I play and this experience that I get when I'm playing the sport, or it's this place that I go where I do this thing, et cetera, et cetera. Most of these things, the common thread is we experience flow when we're doing these things, or at least the people that love these things experience flow when they do it. And what is flow? What is this experience of flow? This is when you're so immersed in what's going on, or your body needs to move and respond so fluidly to what's going on that there is no thought. There is no, I'm over here judging my own performance, looking at that thing over there, wishing that certain things of this were different. It's in the moments when we truly are experiencing this flow and this pleasure and freedom that comes from it. We are not in our cockpit putting words together about what's going on. We're kind of free of that. That thing falls away, and we experience this direct connection in movement with what all is going on. And the pleasure of flow, the freedom of flow, the beauty of flow that we experience in our lives in motion is something that we can learn to access in stillness. And we can learn to experience some of these same freedoms in a different form when we are just subtracting things without even going to this activity. Flow is something that is an intrinsic capacity of the mind, something that can be cultivated, something that can be found in various circumstances, not just the ones where flow kind of comes on us. We can learn to manifest this in small, even brief moments throughout our days in our life. And this letting go of the opinions every once in a while, this realizing that We don't need to always be rehearsing in our minds what we like and don't like about every single thing that arises right in front of us. This can be a starting point of at least loosening some of the grips to allow the possibility for us to find flow when we're in motion or to find peace or stillness when we are still. And that is definitely something that I could use a little more of. This is a good reminder for me because I'll tell you what, this week I have not been minusing my opinions about things. I have been putting my opinions on everything and resisting, why does this thing have to be this way? Why can't this thing be this way? Why can't the past have been this instead of this? Why can't this? Why can't this? I don't like this. I want more of this. Blah 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 blah. And this pattern can really blind us and even blind us to the cause and effect that it brings within our own mind and well-being. And so in the week to come, this is my intention of just paying more attention, allowing my opinions to be held with an open palm and pass away. Yeah. And you, what are your other thoughts about joy, flow, peace, and perhaps loosening the grip on our opinions?
Yeah, I believe peace is what we are looking for within ourselves and within our relationships, within our community, and also within the world. We always want peace. And sometimes what conflicts this is the stories we hear people talk about, we tell ourselves, and the stories can get loud. Like one political party tells this story, the other political party tells the other story. And then the danger in it is that we give our energy towards a story which someone else confabulates even and or tells or talks about, and we give our energy towards it and give our lives to the stories of others just because they are so involved in this identity of trying to defend a story. And we don't realize that it is standing in the way of us feeling really peaceful. And with that, there's another thing that whatever you resist will persist. So it's about creating this excess potential within ourselves that hinders ourselves to experience the peace. And in either way, if we are trying to pursue the greatest of the delights of experiencing the highest of exhilaration, or trying to defend a narrative just from believing it, what other people tell, it's always like this potential which distracts ourselves from this stillness we can find within. And to be aware of that we don't have to have an opinion even about something that is going on in the world, gives ourselves the power back to keep our energy and really put it to use, maybe in a community, maybe in a relationship we experience right here, right now, a relationship towards ourselves, having this self-acceptance when we don't waste our energy on trying to defend a political ideology or even ideas that come into our mind just because others talk about it. We just keep this energy and can invest it in what is really mattering to us, what really matters to us, in something that is meaningful to us, a relationship with a family, a loved one, a friend, and self-acceptance, even that. So it's also my intention to be more mindful about what kind of narratives are leading myself to wanting to have an opinion about a thing that I do not have any control over.
Mm.
Therefore, analyze, where do I waste my energy? Just because of there's this system which vibrates in a kind of frequency, and I also adapt to it and mindlessly give my energy towards it. So it's about being more mindful about not wasting our energy through subtracting our opinions of it, through subtracting our judgment of it. It may happen, whatever happens. I may bump my foot on the walk up a hill, but whatever happens, happens. And there's a saying from Krishnamurti where he got asked once, what is your secret about how you live your life? And he said, okay, I don't mind what happens. I don't mind
Mm-hmm.
what happens. This non-judgmental attitude towards it, this non-attachment towards expectations you have, and this not resisting whatever comes and life throws at you. I don't mind what happens, so I might as well deal with it I might as well commit to making the best out of it and trying to improve the situation and try to be here right now and investing my energy locally to build something which is meaningful to me and to others here. For example, a beautiful relationship with a loved one or a friend.
Wonderful thoughts, my friend. Thank you for sharing. Not minding what happens is definitely intention that's on my mind now. This is honestly the judgments about reality, the resisting the reality, the ceaseless narratives and opinions, and even the identities that they're rooted in. This has been very present in my mind and my habits and my way of being in the last week. And this conversation gives me a good opportunity to look at that, to see what it is, to see the cause and effect, to take a step back, and then an opportunity to shift my course a little bit. And so I appreciate you sharing your thoughts. Very relevant and good timing for me to have this conversation. And I'm excited to not mind what happens a little bit more in the week to come.
Likewise, my friend. May we grow and learn bit by bit, not minding what happens and subtracting our opinions, so that we may enjoy life as it comes to us and may experience joy and peace in our lives. Have a
Beautiful
great one.
thing. Thank you, my friend. I will talk to you on the next one.
Talk to you soon. Bye.